Hi. While teaching theology of the body or God's plan for marriage and family to middle school students, inevitably this question will always come up. Why does the church hate homosexual people? And I think I surprise them when I say the church does not hate homosexual people. Homosexual people are children of God, just like you and me. And they are most welcome to come to church and to participate fully in church and in the sacraments. But here's the thing. We are all people, regardless of our race, our sexuality. We're called to chastity. Now, what chastity means exactly for you and for me depends on our state in life. Are we a priest? Are we a religious? Are we a married person? Are we a single person or a single consecrated person? So living a chaste life would look a little bit different for a married person than for the other groups of people that I just mentioned. So I want to read this definition of chastity to you. It is from the Catechism of the Catholic Church Simplified. It says, chastity is the successful integration of sexuality in the inner union of man or woman's body and soul. Sexuality expresses man's belonging to the bodily and biological world. It becomes truly human when integrated into the relationship of spouses in their lifelong mutual gift to each other. Chastity involves the integrity of the person and the integrity of the gift. Chaste persons maintain the integrity of their sexual powers and ensure a unity of the person. Chastity does not tolerate a double life. Chastity demands an apprenticeship of self-mastery, a training in human freedom and virtue. Man either governs his passions or he is dominated by them. Freed from slavery to his passions, man gains his dignity and freely is able to choose the good. So that is a good but technical definition of chastity, and it might take a little bit of digesting. You might need to back it up and replay that a little bit. Anyway, unless you are married, this chastity or living a chaste life calls you to abstain from all sexual activity. Within marriage, obviously God created sex within marriage. Man and woman fit together like a puzzle, you know. And there are two purposes that God had in mind when creating this way for us to reproduce. Number one is reproduction itself, procreation. The main reason for, or big possible outcome of sexual intimacy is the bringing forth of life. God allowing husband and wife to participate in his beautiful plan for creation of another human being, another human soul. So sex within marriage can be good. It can be holy, but it is meant to mirror God's love or the love of the most holy Trinity for each other. And I know that might blow your mind. Kind of blew mine at the beginning. So if marriage and the sexual union between a husband and wife is made to imitate God's love, then it's got to have certain qualities or attributes like God's love. For example, it is total, faithful, fruitful, and free. God's love is total. God's love is faithful. God's love is fruitful. And God's love is free. He always respects our free will, doesn't he? He doesn't want to force us to love him. We would be a puppet. That would be no good. So in order for sex to be holy, it has to be a total gift of self. Take me as I am. I give all of myself to you, including my fertility. Kind of scary. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Faithful, obviously. You have that one partner within marriage. You don't sleep around outside of that. It's adultery. Fruitful, meaning open to life. So obviously not every encounter will produce a new life. Praise God. But it has to be open to that possibility. And that to me sounds like another topic for another video. So we'll discuss that further some other time. And lastly, the person has to be free. Their free will has to be respected. There can't be any manipulation there. The person has to, freely accept you and freely make a gift of themselves. So, God did put the pleasure part into sexual intimacy for the purpose of causing a husband and wife to bond and therefore bring them together and hopefully help them to remain together, because God knows that in order for a child to be raised healthy and happy, he or she needs the benefit of both of, his or her parents. And obviously, in our world today, we see a lot of brokenness and a lot of separated families, and we see the hurt and the pain and the trauma that all people in the family deal with, but particularly how it is affecting our children. Basically, the point I'm trying to get across is that homosexual sexual encounters can not bring forth life naturally. And I just got finished reading Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers in the Old Testament, and God clearly speaks out against sexual encounters between a man and a man, a woman and a woman, a man and an animal, a woman and an animal. And, he says that these are very big sins. So if you have a problem with that, don't take it up with me. God said it. It's in the Bible. Look it up. So, of course, the church does not hate people with same-sex attraction. People with same-sex attraction are welcomed in church. And just like with every human being, we can love the sinner and not the sin. In order, however, to fully participate in the sacraments and the life of the church, all Catholics need to be in a state of grace. So if you have fallen into mortal sin, then certainly going to confession would restore that relationship with God and make you eligible to receive the sacraments again, which again helps you to grow in holiness and humbleness and virtue, and give you the grace to carry your cross, whatever that cross may be, and follow the Lord. I hope that helps.